All right, welcome once again, everyone. This is Brian Smith with another edition of the FGA Report. And I've got a very talented player with me this evening. I got Braeden Marshall, plays at Lake Mary High School, just north of Orlando in the suburbs. Thank you very much for coming on the show, my friend. You're one of the top corners in the greater Orlando area. You're class of 2023. Talk to me a little bit about your game, man. What do you do best on the football field?
I'm a man-to-man corner, like to press up in you, and I got speed to me, and my technique helps a lot.
Well, that's the name of the game, man. There's a lot of guys in Florida that can run. The guys with technique get to stay on the field.
Yes, sir.
So, Lake Mary's got a lot of talent. It's a really good football program. It has been for a long time. I did an internship at Lake Brantley about 10 years ago, and that was one of the programs I respected, just kind of like how they carried themselves. And it's really not changed since. What is it about your guys, like, the way the program is? Like, I was just watching your film, and I'll throw it up here on the screen here in a second. But you play physical, even though you're like 170 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that something that you guys just do in practice? Do you guys hit a lot, or what's the deal with the physicality aspect of your program?
That's just how we taught to play, because most physical team always usually comes out on top, and that's what our coaches really come. They speak to us about it. Speak to us a lot about. So that's what the physicality comes in.
Well, to be honest with you, that is true, first and foremost. And it doesn't matter if it's high school, college, or professional. Physicality in football, that's never going to change. Obviously, it's a very violent game. But the first play, and again, I'll throw it up here on the screen here in a second, with your video, you make a tackle instead of a pick. A lot of DBs, the first thing, whatever pick they got, even if it was a duck, it's the first thing. And it's like, why are you putting that on there? Nobody cares. My grandmother, may she rest in peace, could catch that. But it's good that you did that, because the screen game is now the biggest thing in college football. If you saw what Devontae Smith did last year, hell, everybody in the stadium knew they were going to screen him, and he still made plays.
Exactly.
If you can't tackle in space, they will embarrass you right now, and it's not a good feeling.
You're right.
That's coming. So, like, I was glad to see you do that. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. But I mean, again, it's just awesome that you have the ability to make those plays and to do it rather quickly. Let me get this pulled up here. But yeah, it's just really important that guys have the ability to make plays in space. I know that you're not going to make a highlight reel tackle like this is about to show here in just a second on every play.
Yeah.
But this first play is indicative, and this is what college coaches look for. I mean, this – oh, man, that's just bad news bears right there for him. He's going to be hurting tomorrow. And this is an interesting play as well. You played off technique here.
Yes, sir.
And you did get beat over the top. I don't know who that guy is, but he's pretty fast, and his quarterback stunk. But you stopped and made the play. Unfortunately, I see you got a little penalty there at the end. It didn't count, but I know what happened. It's still funny. Do you prefer bail technique like that, or just straight up press? Which one do you like better?
I like the press. I like pressing more, because I feel like when you press, it's more like, it's more competition. I feel like it's harder, and I like to be challenged. And so press and being patient with it, and being patient with the receiver, letting the receiver dance, and once they dance and release, is jamming on them and stopping their route. That's what I love to do.
Well, needless to say, I mean, these plays right here are pretty good. You read the quarterback well when you're in a zone situation, or if you're playing off your guy, you're up on him, or if you come across from another guy, you can make a play. All of that's in. This is a great play, by the way. A lot of makeup speed here. A little bit underthrown, but most guys in DBs, man, they got stone hands. They don't make that play. So that's interesting to me. This is good again with the press. I don't think I wanted to see there. I wanted to see you just hit him one time, but you can run. The way you turn and flip your hips is a good sign. Did you get a chance to play any slot or just outside this year?
Nah, I just played outside this year.
I'm curious to see if I think you'll play both at the next level. It's just my opinion.
I think that'll happen too.
Being able to play slot is hard, man. One play, it's a tight end in front of you. The next one, it's a 5'9", 170 kid. So there's another nice tackle, by the way. But Yeah, swap, man. That's a really hard position in college football now.
Yes, sir.
When did you start learning press coverage? Like, how old were you?
To be honest, I really started playing or press and actually DB going into my sophomore year. So actually, when COVID hit, that's when I really
Right.
started working on my DB training and skills. And luckily, when COVID started delaying everything, I actually had more opportunity to work on it, and it paid a dividend.
How in the world do you train during COVID? That's my other question.
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know.
I
We
mean,
we we got lucky.
well,
Luckily,
yeah, a lot of guys were in the same boat as you, and I
yeah.
mean, I've asked that question, and everybody kind of has their own answer. But the way you turn and run is probably my favorite thing about how you play, and then your vision to the quarterback mixes in with it. Some of the kids that you're going up against here, like, I mean, these kids can run. We're for anybody that's watching this, if you haven't seen a high school football game in the greater Central Florida area, like 5A, 6A, 7A, 8A, I don't care if the team is 2-7, they got a Division I player.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. There's a track athlete in pads on that field playing running back, receiver, or DB, or multiple. So you don't get any quote unquote nights off. Ooh, nice hit. I hadn't went that far in the video. One more play here, then I'll pull it off. But I do love watching the DBs and the receivers in the greater. I mean, there's just so freaking many. Like Jaden Gibson, I know you know
Yeah.
him, and some other guy. You don't get any freebies
No.
on this game. So, what things do you need to do next to take your game? You got one more year of high school left, obviously.
Sure.
What do you got to do next to improve your game and raise it to a point where you're going to get, like Alabama or whoever it is looking at you? What's next for you?
Ball skills. Ball skills. I dropped the money a little bit too much this year. I should have had more pace than I had, but ball skills is probably the biggest thing I feel like I need to work on.
Well, you had 4 picks, 11 PBUs. That's pretty good, but
Yes, sir.
obviously there's always room for improvement. Is there any one particular drill, or is there anything you guys work on, or whether it's with your trainer at your high school? What is it you guys do to try to get better with that stuff?
Deep balls, just throwing deep ball, deep routes, and just catching the ball there.
Well, that's a good thing. That's
Yes,
a good
sir.
thing. Let's switch over to the last category, and that is recruiting. You told me before the show that some of the schools that are coming at you, and I quote, are Nebraska, Penn State, Iowa State, West Virginia, Cincinnati. UCF's been talking to you a little bit more here recently. They don't have an offer to you yet, but you've been there.
Yes,
So
sir.
you've got Power 5, and UCF's getting ready to go to Power 5. So you've had some success in recruiting. Is it, when did you get your first offer?
I got my first offer right after my sophomore season, which was FAU.
Okay. When did you get your first Power 5?
My first Power 5 was the beginning of my junior season.
Who was it?
Pitt.
Pitt? If you want to play man coverage,
Yes, sir.
that's all they play.
Yes, sir.
That guy plays, nothing else. Close to home, does it matter? Is there any particular style you're looking for? I mean, what is it you're looking for in the college football program you go play for?
I feel like as a style, like a school that likes to play man, especially, and I really don't care. Whatever place, whatever school wants me to play for them, that's where I want to go. It doesn't have to be close to home.
Okay. You're about 5'10", 170, give or take. You mentioned during the video we were watching a minute ago, you think you can eventually move in and play slot. Have you played any offense, or has it always been defense for you?
It's always been defense, but this year, my senior year, it should be offense too.
Oh, they already talked to you about that a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see, just even if it's just running fakes to you on a jet sweep motion, it's going to help your running back and your other receivers, I would think, is that would just make sense to me. So,
Yes, sir.
do you have any planned events for this spring, whether it's a 7-on-7 team, or what's your plans for this spring?
I have 7-on-7. Going to be with Central Florida All Stars.
Okay.
And plan on taking a few visits.
Okay. Any particular institutions in mind, or just in general?
Um, I'm still thinking about it. So
Okay.
when time comes, we'll find out.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Braeden, I know you're a heck of a football player. I don't think enough
Appreciate you.
people know about you. Yeah, no problem. But your temperature shall rise, if you will, in terms of the scholarship offers. Spring practice, coaches will come through. You'll matriculate up a little bit more. So thank you very much for coming on the show. I'll have you on again, and I appreciate it, man. God bless.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.